Hey everyone, welcome back to No Holds Barred, a place where, again, my chair still squeaks, and I kind of talk about whatever I feel like talking about. And today it is about my favorite perfumes. Mostly the ones for like the colder weather, the winter months. It's just a thing. I have my favorite ones here. You're gonna notice, obviously, a pattern. It took me a good 3 or 4 years to really figure out what I loved in a scent and what I didn't, because there's a lot in front of me, and they range from expensive, like designer, to drugstore, to like cheap stuff that it doesn't matter. There's a whole bunch here. They all have like different layers, and it takes you a while to really figure that out. Yes, you can start with what's popular, like probably on TikTok. I don't know. I don't have TikTok, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, I mean, you gotta start somewhere, and then you start to figure out what you like. So there's definitely a pattern. I'm letting you know. And yeah, there's also a pattern for my summer scents that I love, and that one's just citrus. But anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about the stuff. They're all, like, here. And I am going to be, like, inserting, like, the scent, the notes, whatever you want to call it, from, and I have a hard time saying it. I mean, get it out here. Fragrantica. And I don't know why I kind of heard about it. I'm on the Reddit subreddit for fragrances. It's where I learned a lot of stuff. I don't know what the issue is. There's something about where people like don't like Fragrantica, and I think it's because when you're gonna see the things like pop up, the different, like, you know, scents and all that stuff, and I think it's because people can vote on what the scent is. So what you see of you know, there's bars. It's not quite science. Might remind you of math class. Sorry about that. But I think it's because people can vote on it, so they're not necessarily true to the notes, which is the scents all mixed together. But I do have the descriptions that I will read, and then I'm going to tell you, like, how I feel about them. Because the one thing about, like, fragrances and perfumes in general is they kind of smell differently on different people. Because there's the scents themselves, and then there's your own personal body, like, chemistry, your pheromones, your pH, all that stuff. So something can smell really, really good on one person, and then maybe better on you, or worse. It all depends, and it takes a while to figure that out. So, again, I've figured it out after a while, and I'm just sharing what works for me, what I like. And again, if there's a few here that I'm going to mention that you've tried that you liked, then the whole point of this is, like, you know, well, you might like this one too. If you find it on sale, pick it up. Or something like that. So, let's get into it. The first one that we're going to start with is this one from Commodity, and it is the vetiver scent. So on this one, I heard somebody again on Reddit talk about how, be careful with this one, it smells weird. Like, they had like the ellipsis, and then they were like, weird. And it kind of does. And there's a reason I'm starting with this one, because it's easily overpowered by other things. It's got a very low key scent to it, but it's like walking in an enchanted forest. It's, again, very much like just vetiver. And vetiver is actually like a special thing, because I looked it up. So let's explain a little bit of it, because it's like an herb that grows around, and it's sometimes used in healing and all that stuff. And it says, according to Google, that vetiver is sometimes applied directly to the skin for relieving stress, as well as emotional traumas and shock, lice, and repelling insects. So probably repels people too, I suppose. It's also used for arthritis, stings, and burns. Vetiver is sometimes inhaled as aromatherapy for nervousness, insomnia, and joint and muscle pain. So it's very, again, heavy on the vetiver. But the rest of it, the different notes, there's not that many all like mixed into it. It's pretty simple, but it does feel, at least to me, like I'm walking in like a mossy forest. Like, that's like pretty, like Lord of the Rings type of like a mossy forest. Like I said, it's not too strong and it can easily be overpowered by other things. And according again to Fragrantica, these are the notes that are with it. According to, again, Fragrantica, the notes that are in here, well, the description, actually, this is the description. Vetiver by Commodity is a woody fragrance for women and men. Vetiver was launched in 2017. The nose behind the fragrance is Carolyn Sabas. And when they say a nose, they mean the person who created it, because, you know, you need to smell. Top notes are blackberry, apple, petalia. Middle notes are jasmine and jasmine sambac. Base notes are Haitian vetiver, Indonesian patchouli leaf, Australian sandalwood, and cedar. So that's what it says. And again, to me, I'm not good at this. But it's okay. I can't really like see the monitor and stuff like that, but I'm giving it a try. Anyway, again, it smells like a forest. You do pick up slight notes of those like fruits and berries once it's all dried down. But it's very, very, again, subtle. It's there, but it's not in your face unless you go too far. If you put like 4 or 5 sprays of this, you're going to feel like you're going to throw up. But otherwise, on its own, it's really good. And just side note, because we're going to get to it later, the Tom Ford, I just have a little one. Okay, so like Tom Ford Black Orchid, you don't need a lot of this, by the way. It's super expensive. I want to get a bigger one, can't afford it. But one of the notes in here is actually vetiver. So, did not know that until I did my research yesterday. My next one is my all-time favorite. If you've been around me personally or around my Instagram for any amount of time, you know this one is my all-time favorite forever. This is a new one that I just purchased because I did find it at Winners and Marshalls, TJ Maxx in Canada. It was $90 and this is a 50 ml. And that's kind of on the expensive side for me, but if I'm going to go get this at Sephora right now, because you can only get them online in North America, it's over $200. And a note on that. So, for some weird reason, Crystal Noir is, I don't know why I say it the English way, because I speak French, so it's Crystal Noir. Like, I can say it right, I just don't. I'm just used to hearing everybody saying it wrong. But it's discontinued in North America in the sense that it's discontinued from physical stores, because it's just not that of a top seller, but you can still get it online. There's a few big stores, like probably like Macy's and stuff like that, whatever, that do have some. Most stores don't like have them physically in their store, because that's how I got the first one. So like I had a whole bunch of little small ones from Versace, and I really loved this scent because it makes me feel like I'm a vanilla cupcake and somebody just wants to lick me. I know that sounds weird, but I just feel so like just scrumptious and soft and delicate and sweet and a little bit on the sassy side, and I just fell in love with the scent. And a few years back, I don't know what it was either Black Friday or Boxing Day, and I went into like Shoppers Drug Mart and I was talking about different things, and I mentioned this was my favorite, and that's when the person told me they're discontinuing it. And he looked through his drawers and he found the bottle that I have now for like $36. So I'm halfway through that one and I just love it so much, and I started babying it. So when I saw this one, at first I left it there because $90 is a lot of money. But I went back the next day because I was like, for me it was worth it. And anybody again who's new here who doesn't know me, hi, I live with disabilities. I have a severe anxiety disorder. Right now I'm healing a knee that I dislocated in July. So taking the bus is really, really hard. And for me to take like a bus, and also the bus system in my city is just fucked. It doesn't make any sense. Our mayor don't care because, you know, whatever. That's a whole freaking story. So it takes me like an hour and a half just to get there on the bus. So it was obviously worth it because I took the bus just for that. So happy about this one. This one is my all-time favorite. I will read you what the ingredients and the notes are. And give you this side note that for some weird reason, there is a difference between the eau de toilette and the eau de parfum. One of them has a random coconut note in the middle of it. But thankfully I can pick it up because this one is, let me see. This is the eau de parfum, which is the one that's supposed to have the random coconut one. And then was the eau de toilette that I have before. And I can't tell the difference, which I'm super happy about. To me, they smell the same. But again, I think that note comes again from this Fragrantia app. I can't say it, okay? I also can't say mustache. I can't say a lot of things. Whatever. I'm French. I think that's why. But maybe not. Anyway. It says, Crystal Noir Eau de Toilette by Versace is a floral fragrance for women. Crystal Noir was launched in 2004. The nose behind this fragrance is Antoine Lie. Top notes are pepper, cardamom, and ginger. Middle notes are gardenia, orange blossom, and peony. Base notes are sandalwood, musk, and amber. So those are... You're going to notice that those ones pop up a lot. And all-time favorite. The next one that I have is this one here. It's obviously an Arabian brand, which is perfectly fine. They make some of the best shit out there. And it's a brand called Latafa, and this one is Yara Moi. There are a few different versions of Yara, and they're about $40. And that's it. Like, you can get them on Amazon for about $40, even though, be careful with Amazon. You can get them at TJ Maxx for about $40, and they're delicious. They are super delicious. And with one thing, I mean, the bottle's pretty big, which is fine. Because perfumes get better as they age. And when you have, like, expensive ones, these have been sitting in, like, even before, like, if this was, like, a fragrance from today, they actually let them sit and marinate, and they call it, like, maturing for a few years before they put them out. Because, you know, they have a lot of money, they can do that. These are, like, cheaper brands, so they don't sit there and mature yet. So it's just going to start smelling better and better over time, because this one here makes me feel like I'm a caramel cheesecake. And it's just delicious. So, yes, if you haven't caught on, I like to smell like food, which in the perfume world is called being like gourmand scent, being a gourmand girl or a gourmand guy. And the funny thing is, for people who don't speak French, is that gourmand is a French word, and it's the French word for gluttony. So, hey, whatever. But I love this one, and again, it's very affordable. I'll just walk by and smell it again. It's, one, gonna get better with time, affordable at $40. You get a lot of product for it, and I mean, go ham with it, I guess. Unless you have to go to, like, your job and work or places where scents are, you know, then just a few sprays. So the description for this one is the Yara Moi by Latafa Perfumes. It's a fragrance for women. This is a new fragrance, and it was launched in 2022. The top notes are jasmine and peach. Middle notes are caramel and amber. And the base notes are patchouli and sandalwood. So again, pattern, but it's okay. It's what I like. And if you like any of the things I'm shown, again, you probably might like everything else. So the next one that I have is, again, a TJ Maxx find because it's super expensive. And it was it was like $44 or something like that at TJ Maxx. And it's from the brand called Alice Brooklyn. And the cool thing about this one is this. Oh, I'm not good at this at all, but so satisfying. There's a magnet, and it just closes. And this one, oh, This one does have some citrus in it. It has some citrus, but then it has the other notes of just this sexy, sensual thing. I don't feel like food with this one. I do feel, again, like I'm at some type of like rainforest, looking around with the sun coming through the trees, and I don't know, again, more like Lord of the Rings little fairy land. Was it fairies? I haven't watched the movies in quite a while, and I tried to read the books, but that was a long time ago. But my whole point is, this one does have some citrus to it, but there's so many different layers. So, again, I just read you like the description of the layers for this one, because it's kind of a cheaper one. This is an expensive brand. If I'm going to get this size and this brand at Sephora, it's again like $200. So I'm going to read you the description of this one, and maybe you'll understand what I'm saying, that the more expensive brands have more layers to them. It doesn't necessarily make them better, and it doesn't make the cheaper ones not valid. I'm just saying that's just how they work. It says that Fable by Ellis Brooklyn is a floral woody musk fragrance for women. Fable was launched in 2016. The nose behind this fragrance is Jérôme Épinette. Top notes are neroli, black currant. I don't say that right, but anyway, black currant. It's a berry. Middle notes are honeysuckle, petitgrain, and violet, and base notes are cedar and amber. So the base notes are kind of the same. I love the smell of black currant. I have it in this one. I have it in a couple other ones, and it just pops. Oh yeah, it's a little, my other favorite one, but it's almost done because I got it from, it's that Scentbird. I got it from Scentbird, and it was worth it for about the 6 months that I got stuff, and then it just kind of got boring. So, I mean, I gave it a try. It's expensive. If you want to give it a try, I mean, you can. You get, like, not a little bit smaller than this size from them. If you're trying to learn things, yeah, but if you wanted to get, like, samples of these expensive type ones, it's going to cost, like, $30-something extra, and it's, like, $30 a month in Canada, so it's not really worth the price. But, anyway, keep going. Speaking of this one over here, it caught me by surprise, 100%, because it is Liang Espresso. If you can see that or not. I don't drink coffee. I've never been a coffee person. I don't know, I just didn't grow up with it. It's not my thing. But this smells so good. And I'm like, since when do I like the smell of coffee? But apparently I do. Oh man, this is great. Oh, okay. What? Non, tu peux pas aller là, Charles. C'est pas ta maison. Viens. Come on. My cat, once again, wants to know what's going on in the hallway outside of my apartment, because she's a scaredy cat. She wants to know what's out there. I open the door and I show it to her and she just runs away. This one here, I picked it up at Winners because they were on sale. Picked up the Black Lotus as well. They were like $7. So, I mean, it's not like I was going to really be losing much out of it. I've used quite a bit of this one. See that there? I love it. I am looking for the bigger bottles, but it's an older one. What this one has to say about this one is that Liang Espresso is by Floral Street. It's an oriental floral fragrance for women and men. Liang Espresso was launched in 2017, and the nose behind this fragrance is Jérôme Épinette. Heard that name before, haven't we? The notes are Sichuan pepper, rose, and tangerine. The middle notes are ylang, patchouli, tiramisu, and jasmine. The base notes are coffee, cacao, so that's chocolate, whipped cream, and guyak wood. I don't know, but it has a lot of different layers to it. And it's, I think, fairly affordable. The bigger, I'm looking for a bigger bottle of this one, but again, it's an older one, and it's kind of like not in their everyday rotation. So I'm going to have to go on the hunt for that one. And I got to go deal with my cat. I'll be right back. Sorry about all that. Now that my cat has seen that there's nobody in the hallway and that I'm not in any danger, we can keep going. And I did add some lip gloss because I felt like it. I have been working on trying to finish this MAC lip gloss because even though it's blue, it does a really good job on top of other things. But whatever. I like blue stuff. But I also like red stuff. And also all the colors. I love all the colors in the rainbow. Like if you ask me what my favorite color is, I'm going to give you a different answer on a different day. It all changes. Even though I really love green and orange, but sometimes I like red. There you go. Anyway. This one is an example of like a cheaper one that I just love. So again, oh yeah, this one too. Look. So satisfying. But this is Redwood D Squared 2. And I picked this up on the $21 shelf at Shoppers. That used to be a $20 shelf, but now it's a $21 shelf. And you can find some pretty high end. Like I picked up some Versace from there that are my summer scents and stuff like that. Again, TJ Maxx is not always the cheaper option. You gotta Google stuff. But anyway, picked it up there because I heard or read. I read in the Reddit subreddit about fragrances and perfumes that it has a cranberry top note. And I'm like, that sounds really good. So I picked it up. I don't have any regrets for picking it up because it's only $21. But it does have that back end cheapness to it. In a sense. Like the alcohol in the back side of it is kind of there. So on its own, no. But when I pair it with other stuff, perfect. So let me get onto that. It says here that Redwood by D Squared is a floral fruity fragrance for women. Redwood was launched in 2019 and the nose behind this fragrance is Oliver Cresp. Top notes are cranberry and pink pepper. Middle notes are lychee, rose, and magnolia. The base notes are musk, cedar, and amberwood. And again, those are the notes. I think y'all know what I mean when I say that you can just smell the added part. I don't know what it is. And on its own, again, I can kind of, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just picky. I got too used to other stuff. But I do mix it a lot with like my other things. Because I like to mix things. It's like a recipe book or something like that. Every day I kind of smell the same, but a little bit different. And I do try to match it with what I wear. I don't know. Like not color-wise, but smell. Don't ask. I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. That's all that matters. This one. This is my date night scents. Not that I really go on date nights, but not the point, okay? Sometimes I'll have an evening to myself. I watch my movies, and I like to feel sexy. And that's the name of it. It's called Sexy Amber by Michael Kors. And I can't really find much of a description about it. Because I think when he started these perfumes, he had an idea to, like, add, like, other things. It says something about, like, coordinating like makeup line with them, and I've never seen those come about. But this one, obviously it's mostly just amber and musk and sandalwood because I can kind of figure that much out by now. But this one just gourmand in the sense that I feel scrumptious, but I do feel sexy and I feel like warm and inviting, and like somebody just wants to like cuddle up. Like I want to cuddle up with somebody. So yeah, this is, I mean, you can tell that I've used some of it. I've had this one for a while. Like some of these things I've had for a while. Some of them are more recent. You know, again, whatever. But the thing with this one is if you pair it with a little bit of the Tom Ford, you're irresistible. You're irresistible. If you pair these two together and you don't knock the other person's socks off, they ain't into it. So, I don't know. Or maybe the nose don't work. I have no idea. And again, the Tom Ford, I just have a little one. But that's fine, because this shit is potent, right? There's different words and stuff that I'm starting to learn with, like, perfumes that talk about ciliage. So that's how far away. So this one is more like arm's length, all right? So you're within the pretty close. You don't have to be, like, right next to me. This one, you have to be kind of right next to me to smell it, right? Depends on how far it projects its smell and just how intense and strong it is. And this Tom Ford one, it's strong, it's in your face, it's there. You can notice that smell. And it's, for me, what I notice is like that pepperiness of it all. I mean, it's sexy shit. Like, it's the bomb. I love it. You don't need a lot of it, which is why I haven't invested in anything more than just this, because I don't feel so far that I need to. I mean, I have enough things and I mix them all together. But the description for this one over here, even though it's like $200 if I want to get like just, again, out of my range. But Black Orchid by Tom Ford is an oriental floral fragrance for women. Black Orchid was launched in 2006. And by the way, apparently it's Kim Kardashian's favorite, but I don't give a shit about that. Black Orchid was created by David Appel and Thierry Negrin. Top notes are truffle, gardenia, black currant, yang yang, jasmine, bergamot, mandarin orange, and amalfi. So there's a whole lot of layers to this one. My cat doing? My cat's hiding behind the plant. The middle notes are orchid, spices, gardenia, and fruity notes. There's more yang yang in the different layers. Maybe this one's too repetitive. I don't know. Yeah, so yang yang again, and jasmine and lotus. Base notes are Mexican chocolate, patchouli, vanilla. I think they need vanilla. Incense, amber, sandalwood, vetiver, and white musk. So I think the description on this one is kind of like everywhere. So I'm going to try to sum it up. The top notes are truffle, gardenia, black currant, which is something I can smell. I noticed that it's there. The jasmine, the bergamot, the mandarin orange, definitely. The orchid, the spices from the middle note, fruity, jasmine, they're there. But then again, the base notes. The base notes kind of happen afterwards. It's kind of like the aftertaste, so the after smell, and you can really pick up like the sandalwood, the amber, the vetiver, and the white musk. And again, it's just divine. And you mix it with this, it's divine. You mix it with this one, you mix it with these two, you're just out. Call in sick the next day. That's just how that's gonna go. We're going to cool our jets a little bit with a really cheap one, which is this Guess Seductive. But there's a point for me to say this. So again, I have all of these, and some of them are expensive. And fragrances can last quite a long while before they go bad. Mostly if you don't put them in the sun, do not keep them in sunlight. And not in your bathroom either. In a place where, like, you know, it's... I have them in the corner of my bedroom where the sun can't get there. You know, don't have the temperature fluctuate too much. Not in the sun. They'll last quite a while. So I got this one here as a mixture base, because I want to kind of keep the other one. So this one has in it, if I look it up, this one says that Guess Seductive by Guess is a floral fruity fragrance for women. It was launched in 2010, and the nose behind the fragrance is Veronique Nyberg. Top notes are pear, bergamot, and black currant. Middle notes are jasmine, African orange flower, and orris root. And the base notes are vanilla, cashmere wood, and olibanum. I have no idea what that is. But, again, I mean, you can tell that I've used some of it. I didn't only pick it up like last year. Again, I think it was like $20 at Home Goods for some weird reason. Or Home Sense. Whatever the TJ Maxx one is there. Yeah, I just go to them. I just like going there. Again, this one is just like my mixing medium so that I can try to pair them up and tone down some of these, because some of these, again, are pretty strong. Try to tone them down. It depends who I'm around. If I'm around people who don't like heavy fragrances, kind of tone them down a little bit. It's just a great medium to just add the different ones to, so you don't have to use as much of your expensive scent, and it still kind of keeps it around at the same place. Don't know if it's actually working or not. I feel like it does. Sharon. That's it. For now, we're just going to get into some fun ones. So those are all very gourmand, delectable, sexy scents that you would wear either just to make yourself feel better, because for the most part, I do it for me. It's not like I'm seeing anybody else anyway. I mean, like hallucinations, I'm just kidding. I don't have any of those. But you get my point, right? Anyway, these are for daytime when I just sometimes it depends on the day. I found another coffee one that I just can't believe I freaking love, but there we go. When I say you don't always have to go expensive, so this brand, it's called Mimic, and they're supposed to be like dupes or knockoffs, but on their own, they're beautiful. Like, I've used about this much of it since I got it this summer. This one is 52, so it is a blend of sweet raspberry milk, and it says like 20% eau de parfum in it, and it just smells so, strawberry shortcake. 100% makes it smell like a strawberry shortcake. It doesn't last very long, however. Like, after about half an hour, starts to like die down. But it's fun for just right away. And again, I think if you layer it with other ones, maybe this scent stays more, but I've obviously like used a lot of it. This is 100 mils. Kind of went down. I think it's 100 mils. It is, yeah. Kind of went down. And another one that I picked up is this one. I have a whole thing for like Juicy Couture. I figured out again which ones I like and which ones I don't. And then there's this one. So I have this one here, which is Viva la Fleur, and you can see like the rose petal like in the back or whatever. So it is heavy on like the rose scent kind of, but I do like it. Again, I'm not a huge fan of rose scented perfumes, but this one really did hit it for me. And it says that Viva la Juicy la Fleur by Juicy Couture or whatever. It's a classic. It's a floral, fruity, gourmand fragrance for women. It was launched in 2012, and the top notes are red berries, mandarin orange, and water lily. Middle notes are honeysuckle, gardenia, and jasmine, and the base notes are caramel, vanilla, and sandalwood. So you can probably see where and why, even though it's very rose flower heavy, the rest of it still appeals to me because it has like the vanilla and the sandalwood stuff. So, I mean, I've used enough of it considering that I got it like earlier this year, probably in the spring or whatever. I do walk around like I'm at home all day doing my thing. Well, these days I have a lot of medical appointments, but I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to smell more different. And by the end of the day, when it comes to like bedtime, I might not even smell that good because I'll have so many things mixed in together. But like, because you do get used to smells after a while, by the way. You do kind of go nose blind to stuff. But the next one that I talk about is this one here. So it's Finery. I'm guessing they have a website, but we can't order them in Canada. But you can find them at all the TJ Maxx and all that kind of stuff. And Ulta if you live in the United States. Again, I don't have access to that. But I do find them at Winners and Marshalls. And this one is the Before the Rainbow. Yes, Before the Rainbow. And it's not quite, like I read the notes about it, and it's not quite what you're seeing there, like salty, mossy or whatever. Let's wake up. It wakes you up. It picks you up. It's more like I've emerged out of the forest, and now I'm going to have a great, it's like it just puts you in a good mood. I don't know what it is. Let's read them. Huh. Maybe this is why people on Reddit don't really like this website. There's actually nothing about it at all. It just says it's a citrus aromatic fragrance for women, and then it was launched in 2023. And then if you go to the notes part, again, people vote on them. And it says salt, oak moss, and bergamot. So really, I mean, I can't tell you what the ingredients are. I guess I could do some more research. I don't want to. Sorry. But otherwise than that, it's more, yeah, it is foresty and all that kind of stuff, but not rainforest. It's more like I've walked out of the rainforest and now I'm just going to have a great day. It does put you in a really good mood though. I don't know what's in it, but yeah, it's good. It's good. And it's like $12 or something like that. Go for it. Before I talk about like this last one, because it's just some off-brand that I found it, I want to just do a little shout out to another off-brand you find at like TJ Maxx. It is the Sand and Fog. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, Sand and Fog makes a lot of candles and a lot of soaps and all that whatnot. Room sprays, you can use them as perfume. They're really good. But they have all of these things that are roller balls, as in they are oils. Oh, and this smells so good. So this is the only thing, this is white vanilla. It's the only vanilla, like straight vanilla one that I have. It's delicious. It's delicious if you add it with this. It's super extra delicious if you add it with this one. Like, you know, smelling like caramel cheesecake with some vanilla whipped cream on top. Yes, please. And then it goes well with this one here. So this was, it was a box of like 4 of them, and it was on sale, and I just wanted to add to my collection, which is complete. It's complete unless I can find a black orchid that I can afford. Otherwise, I'm good. So they had these 4 little ones. I've obviously used a bit of it because apparently I like coffee notes. So this one here, it's called Wish You Were Here. Like, it's number 4, and they came in like a 4-pack, but I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, and there was another one that went up to other numbers, so they obviously have a whole bunch of them. What it says about this one is number 4 is Wish You Were Here by Mémoire Archive, or Mémoire Archives, if you want to say it that way. Whatever. Is an aromatic fragrance for women. Wish You Were Here was launched in 2020. The top notes is roasted coffee beans. The middle notes is rain notes, which I don't know what that means. And the base note is almond, which is exactly what it says on here. I can't read it. It's too small. It says fragrant. Yes, here. Hi, you're new. I'm legally blind. I try my best. Fragrance with notes of summer rain. She almost knocked over my TV. I gotta wrap this up because she's a diva. It says fragrance notes of summer rain petrichor, which is actually the word. Petrichor is the name for that smell after the rain. There's an actual name for that. And it says also toasted almonds and fresh ground coffee. I don't know. Oh, it smells so good. It's not even close to this espresso one either. This espresso one, like this one's like sultry and date night and kiss me please. And this one is like wake me up in a beautiful, like, yeah, you're sitting in a field, I guess drinking coffee, maybe. That's why I feel like, hey, I'm having a good day. I have no idea. Apparently coffee wakes people up. I don't know. I don't drink any. But yeah, so those are some of my favorites. I have probably a problem. I have way too much. And my bills are paid. But I think I'm done. Again, there's a theme. I think you've noticed the theme. And then I'll do another one back in the spring about my summer scents, and you're going to notice the theme there as well, heavy on citrus. But that's what I've got for what my favorite scents are for the cold winter months that coming ahead, because I live in Canada where it gets cold. It snowed yesterday. It snowed yesterday. So, hey, that's what happens here. But with all of that, that's what I have to say for today. Fucking everything over. I need coffee. Maybe? No, not that. Either way, that's what I have to say for now. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, go ahead, leave them there. If not, I'll see you in a few because I got some more ideas for other stuff. So thank you very much. Love you.